What's up, guys? Fangolta here. Sorry if I sound a little bit groggy. I'm recording this at 6 a.m. You know, schedule changes and all that. But in any case, we're going to take another trip down the corporate rabbit hole. If you noticed, back in the day, we got stories like Rambo, Doom, Halo, but unfortunately, those are overshadowed by their modern day counterparts. And by modern day counterparts, I mean there's a reason why we get a TV show like She-Hulk instead of something like Rambo. Now, there is a reason for this, but it's not the reason you all want to hear. Back in the good old days, we used to have movies with strong male-centric characters. And today, we have a bunch of entertainment starring strong female characters. Now, Halo.
Say what?
Halo has been a fan favorite video game franchise for a really long time. It's been renowned for its revolutionary gameplay, awesome world, and actually pretty good story. When we talk video games with a good story, Halo 2 goes up there with God of War and Red Dead Redemption. And although there are a few discrepancies, the Halo story and continuity is actually pretty good. However,
Were it so easy.
in our current political climate slash social structure, stories like Halo can no longer exist. But I have to illustrate why stories like Halo can't exist in today's culture, which is sad because Halo is actually a good story. Before we begin, I would just like to say that if you liked the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to see more content like this, then slap that subscribe button and turn notifications on. Also, dropping a comment in the comment section below really helps me out. Honestly, I don't like talking about politics to make my point. I want to make that very clear. Storytelling should not be about politics. A story is not your vehicle to portray a political opinion. But the strong female character trope has been a trope for a long time. But essentially, unless you've been living under a rock for the past 20 years, for those of you out there, a strong female character is a character that is usually morally perfect, is passionate, and is better than men in every other way. So, coming off the heels of the 90s, the 2000s spawned a very different array of movies. In the 80s and 90s, you got movies like Terminator and Rambo starring strong male-centric characters. These movies were smash hits for a number of reasons. And while we sometimes frown upon the mindless action of action movies, some of these films were undeniably good. Well-known examples include Top Gun Maverick. Lesser well-known examples include something like Equilibrium. Both really good movies starring strong male characters. The point is, 30 years ago, if you wanted to make a movie with a strong male character as the hero, then you'd really get no opposition. And that was a good thing because it allowed creators creative liberty. Without it, you get these cookie-cutter movies and TV shows that look like they've had characters and plots transplanted from other movies. All right, so let's talk about Halo. The story consisted of the player playing a character called the Master Chief, a green space marine called a Spartan, but when the UNSC ship the Forward Unto Dawn is attacked by aliens, Master Chief is awoken from cryosleep and given the responsibility to safeguard a female AI called Cortana, who is of relevant importance to the story. As fans of the series know, Master Chief shoots his way out until he gets to an escape pod, which he then uses to crash land on this Covenant superweapon, which is called Halo. Technically, it's Forerunner, but they don't know it at the time. And this classic beginning forms the basis for one of the best stories ever told in video games. If I'm honest, the story isn't really that deep, but it is well plotted and the characters are well written. Master Chief's collective story spans quite a few video games: Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Infinite. So Halo has been a thing for a really, really long time. However,
Were it so easy.
I believe that Halo's story is in danger. So right now, we kind of have a bunch of scattered puzzle pieces. Male-centric heroes were really popular at one point. Halo came at the beginning of the millennium. Both are remembered fondly for obvious good reasons. But in walks our third factor: feminism. So I've said before that if you try to push your political views using a medium of entertainment, odds are it's not going to do too well.
What is it? That stench. I've smelled it before.
Aside from the fact that these people just can't tell a good story of their own. The strong female character trope is a trope that has been created by feminist writers. The logic behind making movies with these strong, kick-butt female protagonists is that they need to make women feel empowered in real life. Ignoring the political debate for a second, have you ever considered what repercussions this may have to your story?
Fool.
And the answer is no. They don't. But this feminist push to have more strong female characters shoehorned into more movies and books is pretty stifling, if I'm honest, and really bad for storytelling as a whole. We want storytellers to have creative liberty, and we want something that's different. We don't want the same cookie cutter idea because the movie maker or game developer is creatively bankrupt. The point is not that I have a problem with female characters, but when a female character acts like a man in every other way, then why not just cast him as a man? Like, is this so hard to understand? But nope, it's got to be a woman because you got to fill those diversity quotas, you know. Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you just focus on telling me a good story? However, the feminists didn't stop there. Feminists weren't content to just scrub over male roles with female roles. But no, they had to go the extra mile and actually actively tear down strong male characters. This usually involves taking strong male characters and portraying them as weak and in need of help and need to be rescued, of course, by the strong female character. Again, whatever you want to believe about this politically, this is not good for the story. Because in the end, this isn't a debate about politics, it's a debate about storytelling. We can see this in movies like The Last Jedi, where we get a hero like Luke Skywalker is torn down and made to look pathetic in front of his female counterpart, who is obviously much smarter and more competent and more likable and more bubbly and more everything than Luke Skywalker, who's a crotchety old man. What I'm saying is that this political feminist movement has infiltrated storytelling to the point that strong male characters are frowned upon, which is why our movie critics can say no wrong about things like She-Hulk and The Rings of Power. Short disclaimer, while I maintain that The Rings of Power is not as bad as a lot of people like to say it is, it still has those feminist undertones. Shoehorning in these tropes just causes stories to be less compelling than they should be. But if you've played any Halo at all, you know that Master Chief is a gun-toting bad mother. In other words, a strong male character. And as you know now, kids, that is a no-no in modern storytelling. Yeah, guys, that's a thing. Or what about Kratos in God of War? Man, he's so toxically masculine. How dare Kratos be a loving father, a loving husband, and a kick-butt male protagonist? How dare he? Grr, and feminists shaking their fist at God of War. How did we get like this? I mean, you do realize these are the same feminists who wanted Boba Fett to be unmasked as a female, right? Boba Fett as a female? How well do you think that would go over with Star Wars fans?
What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me.
And some of the best stories ever told in video games had male protagonists. How can this be possible? Some of the greatest stories ever told in the video game medium, like The Last of Us, God of War, Uncharted. People think that these characters are interchangeable, that gender and race swapping people just literally changes nothing. When in reality, it does. If it was revealed that Master Chief was a 19-year-old, 90-pound female, I think that Halo fans would be bawling on the floor in laughter. Such an idea is ridiculous. And yeah, the Master Chief is a male. That's the way it was originally conceived, and that's how it should be. Halo is not a story about the patriarchy. It's a story about classic, timeless characters told through a traditional lens. But of course, the feminists would gatekeep beyond that and say traditional storytelling is bad because of all this unintentional bias and stuff. And all I have to say is the best stories in movies, TV shows, and video games were created 20 or 30 years ago. And they used traditional storytelling, traditional tropes, traditional characters, traditional plotting. And what do you know? They turned out way better than this modern crap that fills Disney Plus these days. If you analyze the story of Halo, God of War, Uncharted from a writing perspective, they're a lot better than crappy shows like She-Hulk and the Star Wars sequels and the Rings of Power, and I could go on. But the way the current political climate is, it doesn't allow creators to have full creative freedom, which puts a stranglehold on creativity and original ideas. Storytelling comes down to a specific set of boxes that you must check in order to actually be good, apparently. What happened to the time when a story could just be good, without people having to complain about the patriarchy or misogyny? Such was the time, 2001, when Halo Combat Evolved released, and kicked off a franchise that we've loved for so long. And while Master Chief's character is not being targeted yet, that I know of... Oh wait, there was the Halo TV show. And you know what I say, I just want a good story. Just tell me a good story. Is it that hard? Entertain me. That's your job, right? In any case, guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please drop a like. And if you hated it, a mean comment in the comment section down below actually wouldn't be too unappreciated. That means you should comment. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn notifications on if you'd like to see more videos like this one. But I remain Van Golta, and I'll see you in the next video.